looking for a video on how to get to Yeonnam-dong, this is the place. We're going to walk there from Hongdae metro station together, and then I'll take you on a little tour of the neighborhood. Take the subway to Hongik University Station and then go out of exit 3 towards Yeonnam Police Box. If you find this video helpful in planning for your Korea trip, please consider donating to my Patreon. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Once you exit the train station, cross the street to your right and start walking along this grassy walkway. This landscaped strip is called the Gyeongui Line Forest Park. A train track used to run through this area, but it was moved underground a while ago. This is sometimes called Central Park, and it's compared to New York Central Park, but it's actually nothing like Central Park. But when the weather is nice, you'll see people out here sitting and eating and just hanging out. You'll reach this area where the road seems to fork out in multiple directions, and you're going to want to cross the street and bear right and walk down Donggyo-ro. If you have kids, I just want to warn you that a surprisingly high number of restaurants and cafes in this neighborhood are no kids zones. That means they don't allow kids in their cafe. Personally, I do not support these businesses, nor will I recommend them in any of my videos. This is a growing phenomenon in Korea, and there's nothing worse than walking a long way from the train station to a cafe with your kids that you've sought out only to be turned away because you have a child. Luckily, there are a lot of places that do allow children, and I've featured some of them in this video. So because of this no kids cafe trend in this neighborhood, I'm not making this video as thorough as I would have liked. But I hope that this video will at least introduce you to the neighborhood. You're probably watching this video trying to find directions on how to get to this cafe, and we will go there, but I just want to show you some other cool pockets of the neighborhood that you may not have seen before. The first restaurant I want to mention is this place called Soiyeonnam, and it's a Thai restaurant that specializes in the beef noodle soup, and there always seems to be a line outside. So what you want to do is go and put your name on the wait list. You input your phone number and the number of people in your party, and then you wait until your number is called. But if you don't speak Korean or read Korean, you can go inside and make your reservation there. And you have to be there when they call your number, or else you won't get a seat. They specialize in this beef noodle soup, which is really good, has a nice flavor, and the meat is really tender and soft. And we got a set that came with a green papaya salad and spring rolls. I thought that this place was really good, and the atmosphere feels very authentic, like you're eating in a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant in Thailand. My husband thought that the food was just ordinary and that you're paying for the atmosphere, but I liked it. Upstairs, there's this place called the Bread Lab, which is a little bakery, and when you walk by this area of the neighborhood, you will smell fresh bread baking. It smells so good and inviting. And inside, it's just a cozy little cafe that has a really homey feel to it. In one of the rooms, I saw a group of women chatting and embroidering. The bread itself was pretty good, but I didn't think that it was super special. Once you leave the Thai restaurant and the Bread Lab, turn left at the first corner, and I'm going to show you guys a really cute accessory store. The name of the store is called the 5th of May or May 5th, and I think that it opened fairly recently. It just carries a lot of cool bags and pouches and accessories and wall hangings and just really fun, quirky little things that to me epitomize the cool Korean style. It's different from that super sweet pink saccharine girly style that you see a lot in Japan. It's a little bit more funky and offbeat, and I think that a lot of the things in here are really wearable, and I loved everything. One thing that you might notice about this neighborhood is that it is packed with cafes and restaurants, and it just feels like on every corner and every street there's another cute cafe or another cute restaurant that you want to try, and it's really hard to decide where to go. And I think it must be really hard to be a cafe owner for that reason, because there's just so much competition. But because of that, the consumer benefits a lot. So we have a lot of choice as to which cafe we want to go to, and then there's so many cute choices. We've now arrived at Cafe Scone, and this is one of my favorite cafes in Yeonnam-dong. It has a really clean, modern feel to it. It kind of reminds me of Muji, Japan. But then there are a lot of little pops of color here and there. And so in that way, it sort of reminds me of like IKEA. It has sort of a Scandinavian feel to it. Cafe Scone makes this adorable little lemon cake that looks like it's in a candy wrapper, and they also have this chocolate chip cookie with a face on it. In my opinion, every cafe needs its own Instagrammable, iconic menu item, and I think that the lemon cake and the cookie are really cute and they photograph really nicely, so that's what the popular item is at this cafe. But they also serve scones, and they have fancy cute drinks, and they also serve this lovely little French toast plate, which looks so pretty. On a nice day, you can also sit outside. This area seems like it's really dangerous for kids though. So let's pop around the corner, and I'm going to show you how the neighborhood has changed within about a year. So this year we have this pink store, but last year when I came here with Valentina, there was this really cool little ramen shop, and I bet you've never been to a ramen shop where you buy your food out of a vending machine and you have absolutely zero human contact. But that's basically what this shop was, and I think that they served instant ramen. I didn't actually buy anything from here because I'd already eaten, but when I came back to go here again, it was gone. So make sure that you guys patronize these little businesses. I think that they're really cute and I want them to stick around. But instead, now we have this cute little pink shop. It's called Doll. As you can see from the decor, this is a really pretty, cute, girly shop. They sell a lot of jewelry and accessories. They sell handmade pouches and keychains and coin purses and bags. There's this little pink corner which looks like a dressing room, but I think that you can take pictures inside of there. And overall, it's just a really cute, girly shop. So if you like this kind of stuff, then definitely check it out while you're in Yeonnam-dong. So if you come out of Doll and turn left and keep walking down this street for about a block, you'll hit another street filled with restaurants and cafes. And that's where you're going to find the cafe that you guys are probably looking for, which is the iconic Yeonnam Dong Cafe that looks like you're in a drawing. But first, let's stop at a couple other places and check those places out as well. Fluffy Donut. This donut shop popped up out of nowhere, and you will see it on your way to Cafe Yeonnam-dong. It kind of reminds me of those old donut shops from the 80s that you'll find on the corner of a strip mall. Major nostalgia and a nice slice of Americana in Korea. The donuts are gigantic, and they are actually insanely expensive for donuts in my opinion, at $5 a piece, but I guess that's the going rate in Korea. I've noticed that donut shops in Korea are definitely on the rise. This place is kind of comparable to Donut Plant in New York. Stamp Coffee. This cafe is right across the street from the flashy Cafe Yeonnam-dong. It's unassuming and it kind of looks like nothing special, but if you're someone who likes mid-century modern decor, you'll probably like this understated cafe. It was actually really refreshing to come here after having gone to Cafe Yeonnam-dong on my last trip, which was chock full of tourists getting mad at me for getting in their photo, and I'll link that video for you guys if you're interested. All of the baked goods in this cafe looked amazing, from the almond butter scone to this dirty chocolate croissant and this gorgeous lemon cake in the shape of a heart. All the scones and buttery, delicious desserts were just irresistible. I picked up this meringue cookie and a matcha spinner, which included both coffee and green tea in one cup, a double dose of caffeine. If you look out the window from the second floor of the cafe, you can see Cafe Yeonnam-dong, and that's where we're going to be headed next. Cafe Yeonnam-dong. This is probably the most iconic cafe in the neighborhood. They used to have a smaller location, which was where the original Yeonnam Dong Cafe was, but it shut down a while ago. The new one is much more spacious and it even has a rooftop terrace. This is called a drawing cafe, meaning that the concept is supposed to be like you're walking into a drawing and you are the main character. In a lot of cafes that are bright and colorful, the background stands out more than the people, but the entirely black and white interior of this cafe gives you the opportunity to stand out as the main character. This is a must visit in Yeonnam-dong. Here's some video footage from the old cafe, Cafe Yeonnam-dong 239-20, which closed down earlier this year, but I'm so happy that I had a chance to visit with Valentina. It was much smaller, but it was super cozy, and it's what turned me onto this cafe from the first instance, and also introduced me to this wonderful neighborhood. Thanks, Oat. If you want to walk really far from the train station and need a $7 bowl of yogurt and granola, then this is your spot. If I were visiting Korea, I would never venture out this far, but if you're an American living in Korea and you have a long weekend to hang out and you're just looking for a good bowl of granola and yogurt, then look no further, you've found it. This cafe is actually in a tiny house and they make their granola in-house. I got the mango granola bowl and it was excellent. Now I'm back at that Thai restaurant that we started out at, and if you walk back from Cafe Yeonnam-dong and just keep going straight down the street, you'll see all these little cute restaurants that I have not been to, but I've been meaning to try. There are just way too many cute restaurants in this neighborhood. But as you may know, I am very partial to Japanese food, so I'm going to take you to one of my favorite Japanese restaurants in Korea. It's a chain. This restaurant is called Oboksusan, and they also have a location in Hannam, I believe. But they make a really good kaisendon, which is basically sashimi over rice. And a lot of Korean restaurants tend to include way too much chewy white fish. I don't know if it's halibut or something, but I just like it with a good variety of fish. Hamachi, salmon, tuna, shrimp, ikura, and umi. And it's just perfect here. Right next door to the sushi restaurant is a tiny bakery called Spring Bread, and I don't know why, but I just can't resist this bakery. I just get the plain white bread. It's pretty reasonably priced, and I think they also had a really good meringue pretzel. If you turn right when you come out of Spring Bakery and then turn here at the corner right by G25, I'm going to show you guys a secret part of Yeonnam-dong that is just packed with cute cafes and restaurants and shops. This is another neighborhood where a lot of the shops and restaurants don't open until at the earliest 11 and maybe even later. This little corner shop called Lai 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 sells banh mi sandwiches, and then right across is Coffee Libre, which makes excellent coffee. They have another location in Myeongdong, and it's actually one of my favorite places to get coffee beans in Seoul. If you keep walking down the street and then kind of go to your right, you'll see a space that used to be a traditional market, and it's called Dongjin Market, and I believe on the weekends they have sort of a flea market or craft market where you will see people selling handmade accessories and those types of things. On the weekdays though, it's pretty empty. As you can see, this is the main area of the market and there's nobody here. If you come straight out of the market and then turn right at the first corner, you'll start to enter a maze of streets, and this is kind of where you'll go off the grid, and there are a lot of streets that are not really well marked on the map, but it's a really great place to just wander around and get lost. Almost every building has a macaroon shop or a restaurant or a cafe. I can't tell you how many macaroon shops I've seen in this neighborhood. Right now we're coming up to a brunch cafe that's pretty popular in Korea. It's called Grain. On the weekends you'll see a really long line of people waiting outside. This little cafe, Moro, seems really cute and unique. I love how in this neighborhood they preserve the old buildings and then just kind of change the interior with new furniture and modern decor to give it character. Here's a little curry restaurant that I've been meaning to try, but they said that their curry is spicy, and when I went I had my kids with me, so we didn't want to eat spicy food with them. It's amazing how just one small neighborhood can be packed with so many cafes and restaurants which have so much thought put into every single little detail. How do you even choose which cafe or restaurant to go to? I think I walked around the whole neighborhood and looked at everything, and then I finally decided to go check out this place called Round Rectangle. As you can see, it was a really simple, understated cafe with sort of a retro twist. And it was perfect for me because all I wanted to do was sit down and rest and have a cup of coffee. And as a bonus, I got this really cool latte art with my coffee. Slow Cali. This little restaurant serves up Pokeballs, and although Pokeballs come from Hawaii, not California, I still like this place. There is satellite radio playing from a station in Port Hueneme, which is in Ventura County, California, and the chatter and the commercials on the radio really made me feel at home. Right below Slow Cali is a chic little cafe called Florence. They make the cutest meringue cookies, and I cannot turn down a Rilakkuma meringue. As you can see, there are a ton of small independent businesses in this neighborhood, and I think that in order for small businesses to survive, they need to be given a chance to operate for a given period of time. And I don't know how long that is, but long enough to develop and grow a customer base. But one issue that I've seen in Korea is that as soon as a neighborhood like this becomes popular, the landlords will start to raise the rent. And the small businesses cannot afford the higher rent because it's not like it's commensurate with an increase in business. So these independent businesses are pushed out, and then you'll see an influx of all the Korean beauty shops and large chain restaurants, and then everything starts to look the same. And while I have nothing against Korean skincare products, I love them. I think that there's a value in having neighborhoods like this that are packed with unique independent businesses. While I love the value that stores like Target provide, I think there's a place for them, and it's not in neighborhoods like this. These small, unique neighborhoods need to be preserved, and maybe not all of these cafes will survive, but I hope that if they close, that other unique businesses will take their place. Here's one of my favorite restaurants in Yeonnam-dong. This little restaurant serves up a really simple but delicious tamago sando. Tamagoyaki is a Japanese-style egg omelet, and they basically put the omelet between two slices of white bread, and it's just so decadent. The fatty flavor is cut by a thin layer of wasabi mayo, and you can also get your sandwich deep fried. Right next to the Tamago Sando restaurant is this really pretty spot to take an Instagram photo, and then a block or so down is a board game cafe. I've never been here, and I don't think that my kids have the patience to play board games, but it seems fun. And then a few blocks down from there is this really cool vintage toy shop that every time I go seems to be closed. I think it may still be under construction or it hasn't opened yet, but keep your eye out for this. If you're looking for a savory snack and you're tired of just eating super sweet desserts, then you might want to check out this little mandu shop that sells both boiled mandu and fried mandu. And we were hungry after we ate that tamago sandwich. It just wasn't enough to fill us up. So we stopped by this little mandu restaurant to get a snack. And everything was really, really good. Now I'm back at the corner near G25 by Spring Bread and Obok-Susan, and I'm going to cross the street and turn right, and I'll kind of show you how to get back to the subway. And I also want to show you a cool vintage toy shop that I featured in a previous video. You might remember it. If you watch this part of the video in reverse, I'm also showing you a different way to reach Yeonnam-dong. On the way back from Yeonnam-dong, you may come across this shop called Pixie Toy. This ultra girly store sells Japanese memorabilia such as stuff from Swimmer, which is a kawaii Japanese store that went out of business a while ago, as well as Care Bears, My Little Pony, and other vintage toys. The only thing is they open after 2 p.m, so if you're an early bird like me, it may not be open when you pass by. However, I took Sienna here when it was open and she loved it. From Pixie Toy, if you turn left when you exit and just keep walking down the street, I will show you how to get back to the subway. And we're going to go to exit 5, which is a different entrance to the subway station. We initially came out of exit 3. So if you guys have found this video helpful in planning for your Seoul trip, then please consider making a donation to my Patreon page. And that's basically a place where you guys can help support my videos and help me pay for the cost of the music that I use to make these videos, and the video and audio equipment, as well as editing software and other behind the scenes costs that it takes to run my YouTube channel. And if you become a patron, you will have access to special content like behind the scenes blog posts and early access to videos, and at the top levels I provide a gift box to my patrons. So check that out. I'll leave a link in the description box below.